Hi there folks, welcome to Dunsy's Guitar World. Now today I'm going to do a cover of a song by a band called Celtic Frost. But before I do, I thought I would say a bit about it first. Now I don't know if you're familiar with Swiss avant-garde metal legends Celtic Frost, but they started 1984 I think was their first release. Previous to that they'd been known as Hellhammer, and they were like extreme metal. You know, like these guys were at the cutting edge of extreme metal, certainly in Hellhammer. And then with Celtic Frost there was a bit avant-garde, I mean crazy guitar riffs going on. These guys were like all over the shop. So they released a few albums, and you know, they were almost at the forefront of death metal, with Tom G. Warrior, the singer and guitar player, doing his infamous death grunts. So they were always in Kerrang, music mags, you know, extreme metal guys. Then in 1989 they released Cold Lake. I mean, I was actually going to do a series about these types of albums, you know, albums in a band's back catalogue where you just think, oh dear, what happened there? I mean, not necessarily bad albums, albums that were, you know, completely different to the albums before. I mean, Another Perfect Day by Motorhead is another perfect example. It's a brilliant album, but it is a complete departure from what they'd done before. Priest with Turbo. I mean, I'm not a big fan of Turbo, but it was certainly different compared to the early stuff. So, back to the point in hand. This album came out and it was like, it's like a cross between LA Guns and Celtic Frost. Now I was lucky because I like Celtic Frost and I like LA Guns, so I thought this album was pretty good. I will say the production on it is appalling, to say the least. And it was produced by Tony Platt, who'd worked with AC/DC and people like that. But it was quite a shock when this album came out. You know, it was like, what on earth is going on here? The single was Cherry Orchards, which I like, it's a good song. We saw them on this tour in 1989, February 1989, in Edinburgh. And I remember it was freezing cold and it was raining. And it was in a big theatre, it was in the Playhouse Theatre. It was held, you know, over 2,000 people. And there were not 2,000 people there, it was not a busy gig. It wasn't the best gig I've been at either. But again, you know, there's some good songs on this album, some good riffs. But if you look at early pictures of Celtic Frost, I mean, these guys looked pretty metal, but here's what they looked like in 1989. If you can see that. I mean, the chap hasn't even done his trousers up properly. It was crazy when this came out. But like I say, I quite like this album. There's some great guitar riffs on it, I'll say that. When I'm playing the cover, if you listen to the intro riff, it's like, you know, death fast, single string note, death metal, almost black metal sort of stuff. And then when the second riff comes in for the verse, it's like Dokken. You know, it's like death metal Dokken. Death metal Dokken. Some people might argue life doesn't get any better than death metal Dokken. So thank you for watching this one. I hope you stick through the tune. I did a double track guitar, and to be honest, it certainly livens the track up, because the production, as I said previously, is a bit lacking in this album. So cheers for now folks.